chị và các bạn đã quay lại kênh YouTube của Nguyễn Diệp. Hôm nay tôi sẽ chia sẻ với các anh chị một bài học rất là tuyệt vời trong chương trình học tiếng Anh để chúng ta có thể dễ dàng chinh phục tiếng Anh trong thời gian 2 tháng. Và các anh chị vui lòng đăng ký để chúng ta có những bài học mới hàng tuần. Các bài mới chúng ta sẽ được phát vào lúc 17 giờ thứ Bảy hàng tuần. Các anh chị vui lòng bấm nút subscribe, bấm nút đăng ký để chúng ta có những bài học tiếp theo nhé. Xin cảm ơn.
Hi, this is AJ Hogue, director of the Effortless English Club. Welcome to our new set of lessons. These are called the Power English lessons. The reason they're called Power English is because in these lessons, we're going to do two things. Number one, you're going to learn English, of course. As always, we have the mini stories, which are our favorite lessons for most of our members. But the content, the focus, the topics in these lessons are going to be focused on the psychology of learning and the psychology of success. Now, these ideas, they're not just my ideas. In fact, they come from a lot of other people. They come from people like Tony Robbins, who's a famous success coach, Robert Anton Wilson, Joe Vitale, Robert Kiyosaki, Alan Watts. So I've taken a lot of ideas from a lot of different people about this topic of the psychology of success. And the reason that we're going to talk about this in these lessons is that in my experience, most English students struggle and fail because of psychology, not because of methods, not because of teachers. Those things are important. But, Tony Robbins talks about the fact that psychology is 80% of success. And I think he's right based on my experience with many, many English students. Psychology is 80% of success. So 20% are the methods you use to study. 20% are the schools you go to. The teachers you have, the books you use, those are important. We talk a lot about them. But the other 80% is psychology, your motivation, your emotions, how you manage your time. All of these things are, in fact, much, much more important. What I saw in my classes were that the enthusiastic students, the energetic students, the optimistic students always learned much faster. They succeeded. The ones who failed, the ones who dropped out and quit, the ones who struggled, had the opposite mentality. They had a very negative mentality. Their motivation was low. They tended to be pessimistic. They felt that they weren't good at English. They had ideas that English was very tough, very difficult. They struggled. They didn't have enthusiasm for English. They didn't love English. So in these lessons, we're going to talk about how can you manage your emotions? How can you develop that strong, powerful, enthusiastic attitude towards English? How can you maintain it so that you don't get bored? So that, in fact, you get stronger and stronger with English and your psychology gets stronger and you succeed. You reach your goals. You speak fluently, effortlessly. So among teachers, English teachers, language teachers, this topic is called non-linguistic factors. Non-linguistic factors. So what non-linguistic factors means is things that are not related to language learning directly. When we talk about language learning research, when we talk about the best methods to use when you learn English, those are linguistic factors, right? They're related to the language. Non-linguistic factors means not related to the language. This has nothing to do with English. It's more about psychology. Motivation, for example, is a non-linguistic factor. So that all it really means is just emotional factors. And there are actually many research studies about this topic. Dr. Stephen Krashen down in Los Angeles, probably, again, the expert in language acquisition, language learning, has done many studies, and he has also looked at many studies, and he's found that non-linguistic factors are equally or, in fact, more important than the linguistic factors to determine who is successful ultimately. What that means is that things like your emotions, things like your peer group, the community that you belong to, your feelings about English are as important or more important than the methods you're using to learn English. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to learn? Well, one of the things we have to do is create a daily English ritual. You need to engage your physiology. That means you need to engage and use your body. You need to engage and use your subconscious. That's how you start to affect and strengthen your psychology. So we have to strengthen our psychology. What does that mean? Really, it means affecting your body and your mind at the same time so that you actually feel better. Your emotions are happier while you're learning English. And I know this is the opposite of what you learned in school. You probably didn't feel very happy when you were sitting in your English classes. But when you're learning with Effortless English, it's very important for you to feel happy, for your body to feel good, for your mind to feel good, for you to emotionally enjoy the process of learning English. Of course, it's just more fun. You're going to like it a lot better. But the other benefit is that you actually will learn faster. You'll improve your grammar faster. You'll improve your pronunciation faster. You'll remember vocabulary words better, longer, and faster when you feel good. So there's a very practical reason for doing this too. So we're going to talk a lot in detail in these lessons about how to do this. But just right now, during this introduction, let's talk a little bit about a daily plan, something you could do immediately, right now, today, to start improving your success with English by changing your psychology. So here's a little ritual, a little plan you can follow every day to start improving, to start feeling better, and then therefore improve your motivation and to learn English faster and faster and faster, better and better and better. And it's very simple. So the first thing you're going to do is when you get up in the morning, the first part of this plan, this daily plan, you want to get into a peak emotional state. Peak means top. For example, the top of a mountain. When we talk about a top of a mountain, the very top we call the peak. So we're saying a peak emotional state means a top emotional state or top emotional feeling. It means you want to feel great, not just good. You want to feel really great. It's the first thing you need to do before you listen to any English lessons, before you study. You want to first be sure that you feel great. How can you do it? Well, it's really easy. I recommend, for example, using music. And I actually do this myself in the morning. Most mornings, I will put on some great, exciting music that I love, jump around, act like a crazy person, and get myself feeling energetic and happy. Do that first before you listen. So move your body, smile. We're going to talk about this more in detail in later lessons. But just for now, every morning when you get up, first put on some music, some energetic, happy music that you like. Smile, move around. Do that for maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Then when you're feeling really great, your body's moving, you feel like you have energy, you're happy, then start your English lessons. The first thing you want to listen to is the main article, the main audio. That's how you're going to use these lessons. So the first thing is listen to the main talk. And you can read this as well the first time. If you cannot understand easily, you can read the transcript and listen at the same time. Do this perhaps 2 times a day, starting with the main story and reading. Use a dictionary if you need to look up new words. Next, listen to the vocabulary. So in the vocabulary, again, I will discuss the meanings of some of the difficult words that I used. And again, you can read the transcript of that vocabulary lesson. There's always a transcript you can read. If you can't understand my speaking, if I'm too fast, then read at the same time. It's okay. Next, you'll listen to the mini story. And the mini story is the most important lesson. The mini story is designed for deep learning. In the mini story, I'm going to ask a lot of very easy questions while I tell a story. In fact, I really ask the story. I don't tell the story. Why am I doing this? Students ask me, well, why are the questions so easy? Well, the questions are supposed to be easy because I want you to answer fast and automatically. I want you to train your brain, teach your brain to answer very quickly. I don't want you to translate from your language to English or from English to your language. It's a bad habit. It'll make you speak very slowly. I want you to just answer quickly, automatically, very fast. So that's why I ask so many questions, like questions again. Very easy. Your job, answer the questions quickly. You can answer with only 1 or 2 words. It's okay. Short answers are fine. You don't need to answer with a big, long sentence. In fact, short is better. So that's the order that you're going to follow. You're going to listen to the main article first, 1 or 2 times. You can read as well if you need to. Then you're going to listen to the vocabulary 1 or 2 times each day. And then finally, you're going to listen to the mini story 1 or 2 times or more. You can also read the transcript for the mini story in the beginning. Now, another important point when you're listening to these lessons, do not study them. Don't struggle to memorize. Just relax and listen. If necessary, you can read as well, as I said, if you need to. But relax. You're not trying to memorize anything. Just let it come in. Let the English come into your ears and into your eyes. Don't think about it. Don't analyze it. Do not think about grammar. The mini stories will help you learn grammar subconsciously. So don't interrupt that process by trying to analyze it. Don't think about grammar rules. You want to learn like a native speaker, and that means you're going to learn the patterns of English in these mini stories. You might not be able to explain them, just like native speakers usually cannot explain grammar rules. But that's okay. You want to be able to use them correctly. That's the important part. So again, you want to relax. Do not study. Do not think about grammar rules. Do not try to translate. Just relax and listen. That's why we call it effortless English. It should be effortless. You should be smiling, relaxed, and just listening. Now, another important point. You want to move your body while you're listening to the lessons. This will keep your energy high. So, what do I mean by that? Well, a really easy way to do this is just to walk. You've got an iPod, you've got your earphones in, listen to the lessons while you go for a walk. You can do 2 things at one time. You exercise, you improve your body, and you listen to English lessons and improve your mind at the same time. If you're sitting in a train, then maybe you just stretch your body a little bit. If you're in your car, you can move a little bit. You can move around in your seat. If you're at your house, you can go crazy. You can jump around. You can exercise very strongly. You can go to the gym. Do something with your body while you're listening to the lessons. It will keep your energy high. It will keep you feeling better. You'll actually learn faster by doing that. And finally, a very, very important point. You need to use our deep learning method. That means you listen to each lesson set for 1 week or more. So, for example, this introduction, it's got 3 parts. There's a main lecture, a main talk. There's a vocabulary section, and there's a mini story. Well, those 3, you want to listen to those 3 every day for 7 days. You want that repetition. Repetition is very important. You want it to go deeply into your brain. Just one time's not enough. Even if it's very easy for you, if you listen, you understand everything, it's simple, still follow the deep learning method. Still listen to the whole set for 1 week or more. On the other hand, if it seems very difficult, well, listen longer. 2 weeks is okay. Doesn't matter. The point is you want it to go very deeply into your brain, which means you want it to be almost effortless. It's just going to go into your brain and eventually just come out without you thinking. And that requires deep learning. It requires a lot of repetition. So that's kind of your basic plan for using these lessons. Again, first, you're going to get into a peak state. You're going to get excited. You're going to jump around. You're going to listen to music. You're going to feel great. Then you're going to listen to the main lecture, the main audio, 1 or 2 times. Then you're going to listen to the vocabulary 1 or 2 times. Then you're going to listen to the mini story 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times every day. And remember, relax, feel good, and enjoy the lessons while you listen. Okay, that is it for our main section for this introduction. Next is the vocabulary. I'll see you next. So welcome to the vocabulary for the introduction to power lessons. Let's start. Okay, let's talk about our first word is linguistic. Linguistic. Linguistic means related to language or about language. It's an adjective. So linguistic factors, I mentioned linguistic factors. A factor is an element. For example, it's a piece of something. So linguistic factors means elements about language, elements related to language. Or even more simply, things. Things related to language. And then in this talk, I talk about non-linguistic factors. Of course, non means not. It's negative. So non-linguistic factors means things not about language. Things not related to language. So in the talk, I'm talking about, for example, 2 different things. One are emotional factors, right? Emotional elements, emotional things. And then the other is linguistic factors. So for example, study method. That's a linguistic factor. It's connected to language learning very directly. It's a linguistic factor. It's a language-related thing. On the other hand, emotion is not directly related, is not directly connected to language learning. At least most people don't think so. So it's a non-linguistic factor. All right, great. So that's linguistic and factor. Let's talk about next subconscious. I mentioned the word subconscious. Sometimes you hear the word unconscious is another synonym for that, but subconscious means something that is under your normal thinking. So for example, if you're quite hungry, suddenly you find that you're hungry, but you're busy, you're thinking about something else. You're reading a book, but kind of under your thinking, you have this idea, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. It's not a conscious thought. It's not a strong, direct thought. It's not at the top of your brain. Okay, sub means under or below. So it's kind of in the bottom, the back of your brain, this sort of quiet, small voice or this quiet, small thought. So that's subconscious. So I mentioned that you want to engage your subconscious. To engage means to use. To use or to, it's like turn on. So to turn on your subconscious, to use your subconscious, to engage your subconscious. It means you want to use those emotions that are in the back of your brain or the bottom of your brain. You want to use that quiet voice. You want to use those strong emotions that are kind of in the back because they're very powerful. So engage your subconscious means use those. It means choose to use them in a powerful way. I also talk about engaging your physiology. Physiology. Physiology means related to the body. So it's related to the word physical. Right? Physical means body, something that is connected to your body or in your body. Okay, not your brain, not your mind. It's body. And physiology, again, is a similar idea. Physiology means what is happening in your body. It's the systems in your body. It's the parts of your body. So again, engage your physiology means use your body, right? Engage is turn on or use. Physiology, body. So engage your physiology. Engage your body. Use the parts of your body. Use the systems in your body. That's what that means. All right, great. Next, let's talk about the word peak. So peak I mentioned in the main story. Peak means top. Now, often we use this to describe, for example, a mountain. The very top of a mountain, we say it's the peak, the mountain peak, or the peak of the mountain. It's the very top part. We also use it in the phrase peak performance. Of course, performance means performing or doing something. Peak means top, so it means doing something in a top way, in the very best way. Sometimes we use this with sports. Say he is a peak performance athlete. He's a top performing athlete. He's the very best performing athlete. So that's, again, peak meaning top, very top, or sometimes meaning best. Okay, so peak meaning top, so emotional state. I talk about peak emotional state. So top or best, peak. Emotional, of course, feelings. And state. State means kind of your situation or experience. So an emotional state means it's the general emotional feeling you have right now. So I might say, I'm in an angry emotional state. That means it's kind of a long-term idea. It means generally, for some time, I feel angry. Now, this is a very formal kind of academic or intellectual way to say I'm angry. Okay? So this is a little bit more formal kind of English. But again, an emotional state. It's a general emotional feeling, and it has a little bit of the idea of a long time. So a peak emotional state, a top or best emotional state, it means feeling very good for a while. Right? Say, I'm in a peak emotional state. I'm feeling very good for some time. Okay, now that is the vocabulary lesson for the introduction to power. Of course, if there are other words you did not understand, you can use the text, use the transcript, and a dictionary, and just find the word in your dictionary and write it on the text, and you can learn more vocabulary that way. It's very difficult for me to guess exactly which words you know and which words you don't know, because every student is different. So I will cover some of the main words, the words I think are quite important. But if there are other words you don't know, just use the text and a dictionary and write the meaning on the text. It's fine. Okay, I will see you next for the mini story. Thanks, and see you again soon. The mini story for Introduction to Power English. Let's get started. In the mini story, I will tell a kind of strange, funny, stupid story. Usually, actually, I will ask the story. It means I will ask a lot of questions. The reason I ask these questions is to get a lot of repetition so that the grammar structure, the grammar pattern, will go into your brain deeply because you're getting again and again and again. You don't need to think about it. Just relax, listen to the story, answer the questions quickly. If you need to, you can pause your iPod, pause your computer, and answer the questions. Or if it's too fast, just listen. You don't have to speak. Speaking is optional. If you can do it, if you want to answer the questions, great, shout them out. If you don't, if it's too difficult or you're in a train with other people, it's fine. Just listen and relax. It's okay too. Okay, let's start. There was a beautiful woman named Sophie. Sophie had to play Tiger Woods in golf in just 1 month. Who had to play Tiger Woods in golf in just 1 month? Well, Sophie. Sophie had to play Tiger Woods in golf in just 1 month. What kind of woman was Sophie? Sophie was a beautiful woman. Who did she have to play? Tiger Woods. She had to play Tiger Woods. Who had to play Tiger Woods? Sophie. Sophie had to play Tiger Woods. In tennis, right? No, not in tennis. In golf. Sophie had to play Tiger Woods in golf. When did Sophie have to play Tiger Woods in golf? In 1 month. Sophie had to play Tiger Woods in golf in just 1 month. Was Sophie worried or was Sophie happy? Well, Sophie was worried. Why was she worried? Well, because Tiger Woods is the number 1 golfer in the world. And Sophie was not good. Was Sophie a good golfer? No. Sophie was a terrible golfer, in fact. Was Tiger Woods a good golfer? Well, yes, of course. Tiger Woods was a great golfer, and he still is a great golfer. So, Sophie went to Japan. Where did she go? Japan. Sophie went to Japan. Who went to Japan? That's right, Sophie. Sophie went to Japan. Why did she go to Japan? Well, to find a golf coach. Of course, she went to Japan to find a golf coach. Where did she go to find a golf coach? To Japan. She went to Japan to find a golf coach. To find what? A golf coach. She went to Japan to find a golf coach. She found a coach named Yoda. What was the coach's name? Yoda. The coach's name was Yoda. Was the coach's name Bob? No, the coach's name was not Bob. The coach's name was Yoda. Whose name was Yoda? Well, the coach's name was Yoda. What was Yoda? Yoda was a golf coach. He said, "I can help you learn golf, Sophie." He said, "If you use your subconscious, you will become a golf master." What did Yoda say? He said, "If you use your subconscious, you will become a golf master." What did Sophie need to use? Her subconscious. Yoda said, if you use your subconscious, you will become a golf master. So if she used her subconscious, what would she become? A golf master. He said, if you use your subconscious, you'll become a golf master. Would she become a tennis master? Or would she become a golf master if she used her subconscious? Well, if she used her subconscious, of course, she would become a golf master. What did she have to use? Her subconscious. She had to use her subconscious to become a golf master. Who said this to Sophie? Yoda. Yoda said this to Sophie. What did he say? He said, if you use your subconscious, you will become a golf master. So Sophie tried to use her subconscious. She closed her eyes every time she played golf. Yoda said, use your subconscious. Close your eyes. Unfortunately, it didn't work. Did Sophie become a golf master? No, she didn't. She did not. Every time she hit the ball, it went into the trees. Did Sophie try to use her subconscious? Yes, she did. She tried to use her subconscious. She closed her eyes and tried to use her subconscious. When she tried to use her subconscious, was she successful? No, she wasn't. She was not successful when she tried to use her subconscious. Every time she hit the ball, it went into the woods, into the trees. Ah, poor Sophie. So, Sophie went to Hawaii. Who went to Hawaii? Yoda? Not Yoda. Sophie. Sophie went to Hawaii. Why did she go to Hawaii? To find another golf coach. Why did she go? To find another golf coach. Did Tiger Woods go to Hawaii? No. Tiger Woods didn't go to Hawaii. Where did Tiger Woods go? South Carolina. Tiger Woods went to South Carolina. Where did Sophie go? She went to Hawaii. Why did Tiger Woods go to South Carolina? Well, to find a coach. He also wanted a golf coach. He found an Army golf coach. The Army golf coach said, you must run 30 miles every day. Did Tiger Woods close his eyes when he played golf? No. He didn't try to use his subconscious. Tiger Woods ran 30 miles every day. He did not try to use his subconscious. Sophie had tried to use her subconscious. Tiger Woods did not. So Sophie went to Hawaii, and she found a surfing golf coach named Farley. What kind of golf coach did she find? A surfing golf coach. Who found a surfing golf coach? Sophie. Sophie found a surfing golf coach. He said, if you practice and surf every day, you will always succeed. What did she have to do? She had to practice golf while surfing. Did she have to practice golf and surfing at the same time or at different times? Well, at the same time. She had to practice golf while surfing at the same time as surfing. So she got on the surfboard, she was surfing, and she was trying to play golf at the same time. Who was trying to practice golf while surfing? Tiger Woods? No, not Tiger Woods. Sophie. Sophie was trying to surf while playing golf. She was trying to play golf while surfing. Was she successful? No, unfortunately not. She got very wet, but she did not improve. Was Sophie successful practicing golf and surfing? No, she wasn't. She fell into the water every time she got wet. She was still a terrible golfer. Was Tiger Woods still a terrible golfer? No, of course not. Tiger Woods was still a great golfer, the best golfer. So who was still a terrible golfer? Sophie. Sophie was still a terrible golfer. She had tried to use her subconscious, and she failed. She had tried to surf and play golf, and she had failed. Now she was very worried. Only one more week to play Tiger Woods. She went to San Diego. Why did she go to San Diego? Well, of course, she went to San Diego to find another golf coach. Why did she go? To find another golf coach. She went to Tony Robbins. Who was Tony Robbins? Tony Robbins was a peak performance coach. Was he a peak performance coach? Or did he teach people to do things badly? Well, of course, he was a peak performance coach. He taught people to do things very well. Who was a peak performance coach? Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins was a peak performance coach. Was Sophie a peak performance coach? No, she wasn't. Sophie was a terrible golfer. Tony Robbins was a peak performance coach. Sophie said, "Help me, Tony, help me." Tony said, "If you engage your physiology, you will be a master." What did he say? He said, "If you engage your physiology, you will be a master." Did Tony want her to use her mind, her brain? No. He said, if you engage your physiology, you will be a master. Your body. Did he want her to use her body very well, or did he want her to use her mind, her brain, very well? He wanted her to use her body, her physiology. He said, if you engage your physiology, if you use your body, you will be a master. Who wanted Sophie to engage her physiology? Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins wanted Sophie to engage her physiology. Tony Robbins wanted Sophie to use her body correctly in a peak performance way. Tony taught her to get into a peak state. Did he teach her to feel bad? No. He taught her the opposite. He taught her to get into a peak emotional state. He taught her to feel really great. Was she in a peak emotional state or a bad emotional state? She was in a peak emotional state, a top emotional state. She felt top, great, wonderful, best. Who was in a peak emotional state? Sophie. Sophie was in a peak emotional state. Then Tony said, "Now, practice golf." Did Sophie practice golf while she was in a peak emotional state? Yes, exactly. Sophie practiced golf while she was in a peak emotional state. Did she practice golf at the same time that she was in a peak emotional state? Yes, at the same time. She practiced golf while she was in a peak emotional state. She improved very quickly. Finally, the day came. Sophie played Tiger Woods. Tiger was very tired. He looked very tired. But Sophie was in a peak emotional state during the whole game. Finally, at the end of the game, Sophie won. She beat Tiger Woods. Tiger cried, "Sophie, you're the best now." He wrote a check to Sophie for $85 million. How much money did Tiger give Sophie? $85 million. He wrote a check for $85 million. He gave Sophie $85 million. How much did Sophie earn? She earned $85 million. Did Tiger Woods earn $85 million or lose $85 million? Tiger lost $85 million. Was Tiger happy? No, he wasn't. Tiger cried and cried. He was very sad. Was Tiger in a peak emotional state? No, Tiger was in a terrible emotional state. He was sad. He was depressed. He was in a very bad emotional state. How about Sophie? Was Sophie in a great, top, peak emotional state? Oh, yes, she was in a top, great, fantastic, peak emotional state. She was happy. She was excited. And now, she was rich. Okay, that is the end of the mini story for the Introduction to Power English. Again, listen to this mini story once or twice every day for 7 days or more. The questions, the repetition will help you effortlessly learn the vocabulary, and you'll be learning grammar too. It's kind of a secret grammar method. Don't think about the grammar. Please do not think about it. Just relax, listen to the questions, answer the questions. And every day, you'll start to learn these basic patterns of English again and again and again, more deeply each day. So again, listen to this lesson every day for 7 days or more. If you get bored, move your body, jump up and down, feel better, and then start again. Okay, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.